Nigeria's political battlefield is shaking again. A PDP convention mired in controversy, a dramatic suspension of Nyesom Wike, and a mass exodus that is tearing the party from its roots. But the twist is that as the opposition continues to fight for survival, the defections keep piling up, including our guest tonight. Once a PDP heavyweight, now a bold defector to the ruling All Progressives Congress. What does this mean for 2027 and for Nigeria's democracy? This is Politics on Sunday. I am Femi Akonde. Let's get into the issues now. And my guest is the senator representing Cross Rivers North Senatorial District, Senator Jarigbe Agom. Jarigbe, good to see you, sir.
Thank you.
And welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Well, you're one of the latest or most recent defectors into the All Progressives Congress from the PDP. You're a strong member of the PDP. Not many people thought you would decamp or defect to the APC, because in June this year, you were quoted to have said, politics is local. If I go home and tell my people I am defecting, they will say, go ahead, but we are not following you. My people want to remain in the PDP, and I will stay with them. It's not about fighting anyone. It's about respecting the wishes of my senatorial district. But now you have defected. What has changed?
A lot changed. Indeed. You can see that there is a plethora of legal issues, and there is no how the PDP platform can offer a tenable platform for me to run for elections or anybody at this point in time. So with the plethora of cases and the differences within the ranks of the leadership of the PDP, there is no way anybody who is serious about his politics will stay back in the PDP.
Now, we saw the PDP National Convention yesterday. Well, it was quite controversial. INEC was not there. We saw the governor of Adamawa State, who was the chairman of the organizing committee, eventually abandoned the convention. What does this mean for your former parties? Is that the end of the road?
The relevant sections of the Electoral Act clearly stated that INEC must monitor party primaries and all of that. So I'm surprised that that was done without INEC monitoring. And apart from that, there were court rulings, about two I know of, that should have stopped that convention from holding, but they went ahead to conduct. I think it is just an exercise in futility. That's my former party anyway, so I don't.
We saw the expulsion of some prominent members of the party, Nyesom Wike, Samuel Anyanwu. Now, the defiance of court rulings is one thing, but the expulsion of these people will further fracture the party. Don't you think so?
Well, the expulsion of the FCT Minister, His Excellency Wike, it's a huge joke, because they are just giving him what he wants. That's the recipe he wants. And he's going to give it back to them, knowing the kind of person he is. The truth about it is this. They would have told the path of reconciliation instead of the path of confrontation. His Excellency Nyesom Wike is not running for any elections right now. And all they would have done, for those of them who claim they have ambitions, but I know that most of them who blame him for destroying the PDP and supporting President Tinubu are hypocrites, because they do theirs clandestinely, and Wike does not act like that. Wike will come out and tell the people, look, this is my position. I'm supporting President Tinubu for 2027, and I think we should all come together and support him. After that, people can express their ambitions, what they want to do with themselves. PDP is not together enough to defeat President Tinubu. And why are we lying to ourselves and living in denial?
But that action in itself is considered to be anti-party.
What is anti-party, actually? Because Before now, most of the governors had accused Governor Wike, PDP governors, had accused Governor Wike of hobnobbing with the APC. And that was because he was doing his own clearly, openly. Most of them did what they did clandestinely, but the facts speak for itself. The PDP does not have the gravitas to win the presidential elections, and so we should have told ourselves the truth. And that's what His Excellency Wike has been talking about.
So since after that loss in 2015, it's been difficult for the PDP to come back. And well, you have left the PDP now.
I have left.
And is that because you don't see it coming back in 2027?
There is no way. There is no way PDP can win a presidential elections in 2027.
Is it because?
And with the recent confusion within the ranks of the PDP, PDP will not be able to field candidates in 2027 for elections. The rule of law is there, and the court will interpret.
Okay, is it because it's against President Tinubu now? Let's assume all of these crises with the PDP is dealing with right now are not there. Would they have been able to at least put up a good show against President Bola Tinubu?
Well, it depends on the candidate. But for now, I'm yet to see someone who will be able to stand up to President Tinubu in terms of goodwill, in terms of acceptability across the country and across all the divides.
Well, some people, some people had expected that you would have moved to the ADC, where they say there are more formidable candidates that can square up against President Bola Tinubu. We have former Vice President Atiku Abubakar there, who a lot of people feel is likely to clinch the presidential tickets there. We also have Rotimi Amechi, we have Jarigbe, we have people like El-Rufai there. And some people had expected that you would have gone to the ADC. Did you consider that at some point?
Maybe they see what I don't see. So I didn't see it that way. And that's why I decided to pitch my tent with the APC.
What do you see in the APC?
A lot. And it's going to help me deliver the dividends of democracy to my people better than it was in the past. Apart from that, the president is doing very well. Very, very well.
Well, you said the president is doing very well. Some people agree with you. Some people have even said, yes, there's a lot of money now to go around. The states are making more money. The president himself has admitted that there's money, and he has also acknowledged the enormity of problems facing the country and demonstrated his capacity to tackle all of these. But the problem now is time. People say it's taking too much time for these results to begin to yield, for Nigerians to begin to feel it.
Well, when the president came up with the reforms, we all knew it wasn't going to be a walk in the park. And there's no spontaneity about this thing. When it comes to reforms, policies, and all of that, I think the president took the bull by the horns, especially when he took out subsidy. Most politicians will not do that. But since he thought that it was a positive step in the right direction, he did it. And we can see the revenues right now from subsidy removal, from the new tax legislation and all of that. Our revenue as of August 2025 exceeded the target by about 20 trillion. So you can see that the president took the right decision. At times, as a leader, you don't take decisions that the people are happy with at the time you take it, but you take decisions that the people will be happy with at the end of the day, the long run. So I think the president is doing well.
But these tough decisions, you say, affected his approval ratings, and some people are saying that these are the things that will count on the ballot in 2027.
Well, I will speak from the point of empirical indices. You can see that our forex reserves increased from about $3.99 billion to $42 billion. This is incontrovertible. You can verify. You can also see that the crude oil production increased from about 1 million barrels to 1.68 billion million barrels per day. And so many other things. Look at the debt service to revenue ratio. Look at the figures. You will see that the president has done so well. Before now, the debt service to revenue ratio was about 97%. That's near bankruptcy. So I think the president has actually done a lot. And you discover that the United Nations coordinator in Nigeria also stated unequivocally that Nigeria's economy was growing and it's gaining momentum. The World Bank also stated clearly that the GDP has grown fastest,
exceeding projections.
Yes, in the last in a decade. So in the last decade, we have recorded the fastest growing GDP, and so I think the president is doing very well in that direction.
Right, and we'll continue this conversation right after this very short commercial break. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. Of Cross River North Senatorial District, the latest entrant into the All Progressives Congress. In the National Assembly, we have seen defections. Is democracy under threat? You know, looking at the way people are moving from the PDP aisle to the APC aisle.
Well,
does this not point us to one-party states, to the direction of one-party states?
Well, you see, people have their various reasons for gravitating towards the APC. For instance, my party has hit a brick wall.
Your former party?
My former party, the PDP. Why should I stay in that party? So people have their various reasons for leaving the party, and the president is doing well. Will there be an opposition just for the sake of an opposition? It doesn't mean that if you are in the APC as a lawmaker, you will not state the obvious when it comes to critical issues. There's a difference between being a social activist and being a politician. And if you've chosen to be a politician, then you have to be a politician.
Well, indeed, speaking about stating the obvious, in the National Assembly, recently we saw this statement coming from Senator Orji Uzor-Kalu alleging that there was a plot or some kind of arrangement by some people to impeach the president of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, even though that was later put to rest. But is there some kind of unease in the National Assembly or in the Senate particularly regarding the leadership of Senator Godswill Akpabio?
I have not noticed it. I am from the South, where the Senate president comes from. If there was anything like that, I will be the last person to know. But I have it on good authority that if anybody ever contemplated it, the thought did not get to the National Assembly or did not get to our offices or did not come to the Three Arms Zone. Maybe it was contemplated somewhere. You know, I cannot say anything about that because I'm not everywhere. Yeah. But as far as the Senate is concerned, we've not had that kind of conversation.
So you think Senator Godswill Akpabio enjoys an overwhelming support of senators?
I think so, because we do not have any differences. He has not done anything wrong. So we enjoy the kind of conviviality that we have always enjoyed from inception.
Let's move to Cross River State now. You know, you've always won elections in Cross River State consistently, moved from the House of Representatives to the Senate on the platform of the People's Democratic Party. And before now, the state, Cross River State, used to be a PDP state before the former governor, defected to the APC, and then we had that continuity with the current governor. Would you say right now that with your own defection now from Cross River North, that the whole of Cross River State politically now supports the APC?
I will not say that there is unanimity, but I will say that a very good percentage of our politicians in Cross River State support the APC. Yes.
And what does that mean now for you? You just moved to the All Progressives Congress, and I believe that you also seek to recontest in 2027 the seat of the Senate in Cross River North. What kind of support do you have from your people, especially after you defected? Before you said you go to tell your people you're defected, and they will tell you go ahead because they will not move with you. Have they moved with you? What did you tell them?
It has to do with persuasion. And I know that 80% of my supporters have already moved with me. A lot of them have sent in their resignations. So we do not have a problem. And I think moving forward, APC is going to have 80 to 90% of my senatorial district. We are going to work hard. And by the grace of God, we are going to deliver. My people are with me because I'm with them.
Well, the leader of the party in that state will be the governor of the state, Governor Otu. What's your relationship with him?
A very wonderful relationship. It's like a big brother to me, and he's always encouraged me to move over to the APC. So we are good.
Well, you say you are good now. What about the stakeholders? Because we've seen this play out in some states where a big politician, or should I say a big wig, is moving over to the APC or another party. The people in that party become a bit defensive because you know that your coming in might displace certain people or upset the apple carts. And, they become a bit uneasy. What's the situation? Because there would be people on the platform of the APC who were already gone in for the ticket, and now that you are there, it appears that you might have an advantage.
Well, it is not
as
about...
a city senator.
Yeah, it is not about going in for the ticket. It is about having what it takes to win the elections, the acceptability of our people. The last elections in 2023, I ran against a sitting governor who was APC, and I defeated him with about 20,000 votes, in spite of the paraphernalia of office he enjoyed at the time. People came up with all sorts of stories, talking about using the military and using the police. Your guess is as good as mine on that, when we talk of who is going to be in charge of security, when there is a governor and chief security officer of the state. So it's as clear as crystals that the people did not want him. And they made sure that he did not emerge. Out of 5 LGAs, he lost 4, won 1, which was his own LGA, with 800 votes. And in my own LGA, I defeated him with about 9,000 votes and other LGAs. So out of about 51 wards, I defeated him in about 42 wards across. So it was a bad case. And I don't know the people who want to actually run these elections. They know that on a level playing field, they will not be able to go anywhere in that elections because our people are with me and I'm also with them. And talking about the stakeholders being apprehensive, no one is going to get hysterical because I'm not a threat to the stakeholders. I've come to support the party and for us to work together. And most of them were in the PDP. 90% of them were in the PDP. And we've always worked together. So it's a kind of reunion.
Well, you've been also a very strong advocate for the creation of Ogoja State. I've seen several of your press statements, several of your advocacy moves to actualize these Ogoja State because of you feel that it's the right of the people in that area for to get this state. But how far have you come with these, and could that also be one of the reasons why you moved to the APC?
No.
Because we saw Senator Nyesom when he moved to the APC say one of the reasons is because he wants the actualization of Anyoma State, and he claims the president promised him that. So a lot of people will also believe that,
Well, we have gone through various stages of legislation and done public hearings here and there. We are working towards that. We are going to send our recommendations to the president, and I'm sure Ogoja State is going to be amongst the states to be recommended by the National Assembly for the president's consideration. The issue was raised with Mr. President, and he's very positive.
But how viable is it? Because there are a lot of agitations for the creation of state. Some people just want it for the sake of it, creation of another state. But how viable is it? Because it's not just a geographical, how would I put it now? Just not it's just beyond the geography now. Putting together people under a state, there's a lot resources, a lot of things would need to be put into consideration. How viable is Ogoja State?
Ogoja State would be very, very viable. Look at it from the layman's point of view. There is no how you create a state that there will be no development. Look at the states that were created recently. Even Akwa Ibom State that was created out of Cross River State. Look at Ebonyi State that was created out of the old Enugu State. You can see the level of development in those places. We also want development in our area. Cross River State is very large, very, very large. To travel from Calabar to Ogoja, it takes you about 5 hours. And to Obudu, takes you about 6 hours from Calabar. So there is no proximity to the seat of power. And Ogoja has a lot of resources. The place called Ogoja. Ogoja is not just the local government. It's about Obudu, Banliko, Boki, Ikom, and all of that. They proposed the Ogoja State. And we have mineral resources from barytes. We have commercial crops, cocoa, and all of that. We have limestone. We have a lot of resources. And we think that if proper seismic studies is done around the area proposed for the new Ogoja State, we will find oil because of the archaeological reports we have already. So I think it will be a good thing to do to create Ogoja State.
So let me talk quickly about security in 30 seconds because we're out of time. Some people have said, after President Donald Trump's designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern, we have seen increased military activity, increased counter-terrorism activity. But overall now, how has it been? How would you say the Tinubu administration has handled the issue of security? Because we know that in the Senate, in the National Assembly, lawmakers oversight over this very important issue.
Yes, as lawmakers, you can look at the budget. We have budgeted so much on the issue of security, to handle the issue of security. The Army, the police, the Navy, the Air Force, and all of that, And going by the reports we have received, the number of terrorists and bandits that have been arrested recently, we think that there is so much being achieved at this point in time, and Mr. President is doing his best. Mr. President is not psychopathic. We will not want people to be killed and all of that. So we are seeing results. We know that more can be done, and we need the cooperation of other strong countries with proper equipment for us to fight